This is Don't Panic, episode number 255, recorded October 7th, 2019. Many new flavors. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and you. I am Sean Jennings, joined as always by two gentlemen who just are big fans of October. A couple of October heads. Colby Rabidou and Dan Muller.
Hey!
I mean, it is
it's
the 10th month of the year.
It's our favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's definitely a time of the year.
The weather's getting cooler. The pumpkins are getting orangier.
Yeah.
Candy corn is now available.
Have you ever bought a pumpkin to do something with it?
Consume it? To consume it?
Like, did you ever use it as a food?
I like to imagine Dan just like taking a bite out of the side of a pumpkin. Like, Dan, it's not an apple.
Well, it just seems like the most useless fruit.
We used it so you would carve a pumpkin, right? As one does, and then we used to like bake the seeds with salt and stuff. They're very tasty. Then you eat them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Pumpkin seeds. That's a good point.
I mean, you can also... I've never done it, but pumpkin pie gets made somehow, you know?
How? I'm curious. How does it get made, Colby?
Well, I mean, typically you get a can of pumpkins, but you could make it. You could make that pumpkin gunk. Pumpkin
guts.
Yeah. It's possible. I know.
Yeah, I haven't done any... every year I want to carve a pumpkin, and then I'm way too lazy to actually do that. That falls into the enormous hassle category that I'm not interested in.
Fair. Yeah, it might only be fun if there are other people around. It might also not be fun if you're not a child.
Right. And I don't even know if it was fun when you're a child. Like, I feel like that's one of those things you think are fun as a child, and they're not.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
So, anyway, I've got my big bowl. Are you guys big candy corn guys? I love candy corn. And everyone makes fun of me for liking candy corn.
Well, that's because it's not good, Sean.
Oh, stop that. Come on, get out of town. I eat candy corn in July. I like candy corn.
Candy corn is just sugar.
So is all candy.
Sugar's delicious. No, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
It's no different than any other candy, is all I was trying to say.
Thank you.
I just think they could have tried a little harder.
For sure. But that's not the American way.
No, of course not.
That's true.
Candy corn is pretty lazy.
I'll give you that.
Oh, I'm bushed.
There's
been so much tech stuff going on. I just upgraded my laptop. Read all the Catalina reviews, hoping against hope that there would be some last minute container edition. There wasn't. So I suffer onwards as a developer who has to use a Mac. I don't have to use a Mac, but I kind of do have to use a Mac. What am I going to use? Linux on a laptop?
I don't even know what that is.
You gotta be crazy.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
Linux. Now, Dan, I heard word on the street that you had an interesting tech experience at one of Amazon's cashless stores.
Oh, right. Yes, that is true. I was walking quite a ways on Sunday, and I literally stumbled across an Amazon Go store. And when I first saw it, I didn't realize what it was. I had never really been into any of the other Amazon stores, like the Amazon 4-Star and that other one.
Whole Foods?
Yeah, I have been to Whole Foods, but did you know that... All right, never mind. I'll get to that. You're distracting me. I think there's another kind of store that... Oh, the Amazon bookstore.
Yes.
I haven't been to any of those. So I saw this Amazon Go store, and I was like, we need to go in. Thinking it was just, we'd just be in and out, a quick little, like, oh, look, haha, whatever. And we walk in, and I see these like subway-style turnstile things, and I'm like, oh. But then I'm like, how do I get in? Like, there's no, like, you can't walk in. You have to badge in somehow. Like, how do I badge in? And then I'm looking up at the wall. It says, get the app. I'm like, oh my god, I have to download an app to get into this place? Then this guy appears, an employee of the cashierless store.
What was his name?
I don't know what his name was.
Oh.
We'll call him Beep Boop, the helpful robot.
He was extremely helpful and very nice. And as far as I could tell, his only job was to teach people how to get into the store, and then constantly reassure them that what they're doing is legal.
And you're sure he worked there?
So well, he was able to go into the employee-only area. I did see that. If you open up your Amazon app, everyone, you can do this right now.
Should we? Is this in the interactive
You're
segment?
following along at home. Oh, jeez. So I have to sign back in.
Okay, let's see. Amazon.com.
Yep. Open your Amazon app on your telephonic device.
Yep.
I want you to click on the cart icon.
Okay.
Well, the cart icon. Ooh, I have something in my cart.
Me
Amazon
too.
Go. Look at that.
Yeah. Now, I would never have found this, Colby, but if you swipe along... I got some cables in my cart.
Oh, God.
If you swipe along the
It's so
top...
deep.
It's deep. But you can use whatever. You can use Amazon Pay. You can go to the books in the 4-star stores. Your Whole Foods code is there. But yeah, you can click on this Amazon Go thing by swiping at the top of your cart, sort of horizontally. And you get a barcode, and you choose which credit card you're shopping with. You boop yourself into this turnstile, and then you're just in a store. The store had basic foodstuffs, I would say, for the most part. Some, like, grab-and-go kind of sandwiches and things. And we got a chocolate bar, and we walked out after the guy reassured my lady friend that was a thing that you could do. And we were not arrested, and she was charged later that day.
Hey!
Wow.
Interestingly, it did not tell her what it was. It said Amazon Go $3.50 or whatever.
And
it didn't say chocolate bar $3.50.
And there was no like order history in the app or anything like that with the.
No, but on the ceiling, they had all of these gray boxes that were angled different ways, like a grid of these gray boxes on the ceiling. It was pretty cool.
So do you think now that you've set it up and you understand how to use it, do you think it would be a convenient and easy way to purchase things on the go?
I think it could be. I think if you were... It's right in Midtown. It's actually pretty close to my old apartment. And if you were heading to the office or something, you could very quickly go in, literally grab a sandwich, and walk out the door. I think it would be pretty convenient. I can't speak to the quality of said sandwiches.
Sure.
They also had like one of those like McDonald's soft drink machines, and like a automatic coffee thing that would make you disgusting coffee probably. The soft drink machine might be appealing for those who indulge in the soft drink.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Are they called soft drinks because they don't have alcohol in them?
Ooh. I don't know. It's a good question.
To the Google machine.
I was about to bring up the White Claw story again.
Wikipedia defines a soft drink as a drink that usually contains carbonated water, a sweetener, and a natural or artificial flavoring. Soft drinks are called soft in contrast with hard alcoholic drinks.
Blammo.
And listen to this. Small amounts of alcohol may be present in a soft drink, but the alcohol content must be less than 0.5% of the total volume of the drink to be considered soft.
Who knew?
Fruit punch, tea, and other non-alcoholic drinks are technically soft drinks by definition, but are generally not referred to as such. Unsweetened sparkling water may be consumed as an alternative to soft drinks. That's kind of a weird sentence. I love when Wikipedia describes very common things. Soft drinks may be chilled over ice cubes or at room temperature, especially soda. It's like, who writes these? They are available in many container formats, including cans, glass bottles, and plastic bottles.
Oh, just like my software, available in container formats.
Ah, boy, big, small, and everything in between.
Yeah.
Cool.
What were you just said something that was reminding me of something? Oh no, never mind. I reminded myself. Here's a question for you. Something I'm wrestling with. I'm trying to solve all my problems. I'm always trying to solve all my problems, right?
And we're here to help.
And yes, thank you. One of the problems I got a new backpack. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Not ready to talk about it.
Whoa, that's huge.
But I'm going to be entering. I'm going to have a 2 backpack lifestyle. I think coming up.
You're going to wear them at the same time. One
No,
in the
I'm gonna
front,
have
one in the
three.
back.
One in the front and one in the back.
Yeah.
I feel like he's
It's
ready
called
for
load
anything.
balancing. Nope. One is going to be for, getting rough and tumble with the traveling, shoving it in places, setting it down in the rain. The other one's going to be my cool City Slicker backpack. That's the one I have now.
The
But-
two sides of Dan.
The 2 sides of Dan. What are y'all's approach to travel as it relates to vis-a-vis backpacks and I hesitate to use the word go bag, but do you have duplicates of things that you have set aside so that you just take this one thing and go, or do you unpack and repack your dongles and your cables and your sleeves and your adapters every time? Help me. Help!
Well, I don't travel as much as I used to, so it's a little different now. When I was traveling a lot more, I did have a tech bag that stayed packed with cables and adapters and international plugs and all that kind of stuff. But toiletries and stuff, I always unpack. And I use travel size stuff, so I guess I wouldn't really have to, but I do anyway.
Yeah. So I repack my cables. I don't repack my toiletries. I have duplicate toiletries. And then I just leave those in my toiletry bag that is always packed, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Okay, so you...
Yeah. I probably could do it with my cables, but I don't like to keep them. Well, I don't have this setup that you have, Dan, where I have one backpack that I use for both day-to-day and travel. So I don't like to carry around all possible dongles in my day-to-day backpack. Because most of the places I go, I already have the things I need.
Most of the places you go, you already have the things you need. That's a profound statement.
Deep.
Explain this to me. Most of the places you go, you already have the things you need.
Most of the places I go are work and home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think what he's saying is all you need is yourself.
Right.
Wherever Colby is, that's all Colby needs.
Yeah. Self-love.
Hashtag self-love. Hashtag Colby is love. Yeah. Is it weird that I really enjoy packing and unpacking?
No, I think that's very a very comforting activity.
Okay. Because it would drive me
that's
crazy
insane.
to leave a packed bag. That would bum me out. I couldn't do that. Mainly because I end up going in there needing stuff and it ends up being a teared apart mess. So I'm just going to unpack it.
What do you like about it?
Well, I'm an anxious traveler. I'm an anxious everything, but I'm an anxious traveler, and the process of preparing and packing for a trip calms me down. So that's actually kind of one of the primary reasons I enjoy doing it, because then it's very organized and you can plan stuff out and go through the routine of it. That's what I enjoy about it.
Cool. That makes sense. I get that.
Yeah.
All right. This was not necessarily very helpful, but thank you anyway.
Have we ever been helpful? I think that would be a first. But that's exciting. So is it 2 new bags or 1 new bag?
1 new bag. I'm still debating if I want to keep the small one or get the really big one. But Yeah, new bag.
I have a bit of a bag problem, so maybe you'll be able to help me, because I have my Timbuktu messenger bag that I've had for 5 or 6 years, and it's a great bag. I've loved it. I travel with it. It's great, but I don't really need a messenger. I want a backpack. I don't want to do a messenger bag anymore. But the only thing, so I use my bag every day going to and from work, but the only thing I carry in it is my laptop. I carry nothing else in it but my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm debating if I want to get like a really small backpack that is basically just a laptop and nothing else, or should I get a bigger backpack in case I need to put more stuff in it?
How often do you ever put something else in it?
Very rarely.
And you have a backpack that works well enough in those limited cases now?
So I have a big backpack now. That I suppose I could go to and from work, but that's also the problem with the messenger bag. It's just too big for what I need it for.
Right.
It looks silly because it's empty.
I mean, sounds like you need a briefcase. You need a nice, fetching briefcase.
Do I want to be that guy?
I think you were wearing a suit last night. I think you could be that guy.
I do love suits. That's true. Do you think I should... Yeah?
Oh, I was going to say, do they make briefcases that are just laptop holders?
Oh, sure. But now you got me thinking I should go on eBay and get like an old-timey Don Draper 1950s briefcase.
Would
that be pretentious of me?
Slightly, but it would be really cool.
I feel like that would unlock a whole new like social interaction for you, where you could like slam it down on people's desks and like crack it open.
I mean, people would constantly be coming up to me wanting to talk to me about how much I suck.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
You know, it's a great conversation starter about how I'm a loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, no, they're all
pros and cons.
Fun vintage bags here. Yeah, I'll hold off until Dan's review. Maybe he can help me. Steer me in the right direction.
I'll try to help.
We know how good Dan's recommendations are. He is a man of exquisite taste. Exquisite taste. Exquisite taste. If I say it enough, it will be true.
It is true.
Did you guys have big Columbus Day plans? It's Columbus
Day weekend. Oh, it is?
Oh, that's this weekend.
Do people not get that as a holiday?
Megatron.
No. I mean, Colby gets it as a holiday. Yeah, for different reasons. It's one of my 11 holidays I get, so I think that's a New England perk. Because we actually have a fall here.
Right.
Why is Columbus Day necessarily fall related? Oh, you mean it's nice to have the day off?
No, I think the reason it's a bigger deal up in the Northeast is because the Northeast actually has a fall.
I see.
You know, Columbus Day in Arizona would be weird because, you know, it's a fall holiday.
Right. There's no benefit.
Right. Right. It's very
Can't
seasonal.
go apple picking. Yeah.
No. God, apple.
No.
Can we just put that out there for a second? That apple picking is the worst.
I haven't gone in a long time.
You overpay to pick mediocre apples that would just the same stuff as at the store. The experience is barely fun. Barely. You're doing free manual labor for an apple farm that you paid for the privilege of.
That's true. I haven't done the math on it. I do wonder, is the price better? Like, are you getting more apples for your money given that you've done half the thing?
No, you pay like $30 for $10 worth of apples.
Man.
So no, it's insane.
What a scam.
I don't understand
it's a racket.
it. I think people just like to dress up and play fall.
Yeah, it's an excuse. Is this popular near you, Sean?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people. I went as a kid. Never really as an adult because I'm not a big Apple guy.
We talk about Apple all the time on this podcast.
And I don't own too many of their products, not yet anyway. No, I'd rather go pumpkin picking or Christmas tree picking or any of the other sort of choose your own outdoorsy things experiences.
Fair.
But I'm also an old curmudgeon, so.
Also fair.
I also like candy corn, so you can't trust my judgment. Alrighty, guys, are you ready to talk some news here?
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right.
There's been some exciting stuff.
Yeah, there's not a ton in the rundown, but there certainly is some. So while you guys peruse that, I want to thank everybody who's watching us live right now on Facebook or on Twitch at facebook.com/don'tpanicshow and twitch.tv/don'tpanicshow. We do it live Monday nights about 10:15 Eastern. You can join us then, and if you're watching live right now, make sure you comment on Facebook or Twitch. We'll be watching. Zach already said candy corn sucks, and I replied with, well, you suck. So it's going great in the chat room.
Sick burn.
So you're going to want to join us there. In the meantime, guys, where are we going to start?
I think we should start at the top and talk about this Roku story.
Okay, yeah, this is a bit of a wacky one. A lot of people don't realize Roku isn't just a hardware manufacturer. They're also an ad serving company. If you own a Roku and you've used like the A&E app or the Fox app, or they serve up a lot of those ads, and then the company, they're kind of the middleman for the ads. Well, they're going to be trying a new ad type, an interactive pop-up ads overlaid on related TV commercials. So, for example, you might be watching a live stream of NBC and a Geico commercial plays. A pop-up will come on your screen, an interactive ad on top of the ad you're already watching. The pop-ups will only display over ads that have partnered with Roku on the feature specifically. For example, the sort of idea that they have in this article is a pop-up ad during a Geico ad for the movie Ghost Town, which is sponsored by Geico, I guess. And so during the ad, another ad for the movie pops up. It builds on Roku's existing automatic content recognition technology, which it introduced back in 2017. It is an opt-in feature. You are able to turn it off, but then you won't be able to use their More Ways to Watch feature, which senses what you're watching on broadcast TV and alerts you, hey, you can watch it on Netflix or Hulu or other such services.
Wait, how does that work?
So I believe it only works on Roku TVs, specifically, not the boxes.
Oh.
And the boxes, connected to your cable box or whatever, it's constantly scanning the screen for what you're watching and trying to match it.
So... yeah, I don't have a Roku. I guess my mom does. It seems to work fine. When Roku first came out, I was like, wow. It's, in 2011, it felt like they were very simple and everything just worked and you never had to worry about software updates or any of that stuff. Now, from where I'm sitting, it's terribly slow and clunky. The user interface is still simple, and I wouldn't describe it as bad, but just the lag on moving between the list items is ka-chink. You click, scoop, click, scoop. Really? So I don't understand what they're doing here. To me, this feels like what a company would do if it thought it had reached market saturation, and it has. Roku really? Shouldn't they be competing against Apple and Amazon? Or are they just giving up against Apple and Amazon?
No, Roku's huge in the streaming space. They're the leader, I believe. I mean, they have a pretty commanding chunk of that market already. And, I've used Roku for a long time. I've used a ton of them over the years. And you're absolutely right, Dan. The problem I found is there is some software bloat, but also their hardware essentially goes bad so quickly because there's so little power in them that every time they add, I have a 4K Roku in my living room that is screaming fast because it's got a big chip in it. But if you buy the $20, $30 Rokus, 2 years they're chugging super slow because they can't keep up with the software. That's what kills them. And users don't realize that when you buy the cheap ones, you're not getting the power you need. So I'm curious how features like this will impact that performance aspect. Like I said, this is only for the built-in TVs, so it's going to be a little bit different.
Right.
But I own a Roku TV, and I love it. I've been very satisfied. It's worked great for me.
You use that for streaming?
I do. I have, in my bedroom, I have a TCL Roku TV. The picture is really great. The software, I agree, not the prettiest to look at. It doesn't, like, crash super often, so it works. I haven't had any major issues.
Interesting.
I like, friend of the show, Emily has a Roku, just a regular Roku. I like the fish screensaver that they have on there. Yep.
Is it better or worse than the slow-mo high-res Apple TV screensaver?
Different experience.
Okay.
I like them both. I think the Apple TV slow-mo screensavers are great, but this one is like, I don't know if it's like a looping video. It looks like it's like computer rendered like fish in an aquarium, like swimming around the aquarium. And it just goes on forever. It's the same thing. Just like it's like panning across the aquarium and the fish are swimming. It's very weird. But I like it. Do you know fish are soothing? It's proven. Science has proven it.
Oh.
Is this what you're doing with your time off, Colby?
Yeah, I've been
Fish
watching
research?
a fish screensaver.
He's so calm.
Yeah. Can you tell?
Well, there you go, Colby. If you're looking for something to do with your newly found free time, there isn't a Don't Panic Roku app yet.
That's true. Coffee and beer.
Could you imagine? You're watching like the news or something, and it's a terrible story, and a pop up comes up. Hey, don't panic. Listen to Don't Panic. It's our show.
Do you remember, Colby, when we looked at how to make a Roku app, or maybe this wasn't us? It was at the time. It was it was just all XML. Like it was all some like custom markup language thing. There was no real programming.
Interesting.
Sounds like a blast.
Now, I tried to build a Roku app a couple years ago. That's
what it was.
Yeah, that's what I got my GitHub account for that I've never used since. And it did not go well because I did not know what I was doing. It was an enormous hassle.
What was your app going to be? Or are you still holding on to it?
It was going to be a coffee and beer app, and it was going to have the shows on it. That was the whole idea. Because I'm like,
Gotcha.
How hard could it be? And it was
hard.
It was difficult.
Huh?
I couldn't figure out. It just didn't work, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. So I did what I do most of the time, which is quit, give up. Nobody watches the videos anyway, so I'm not too worried about it.
Fair.
Let's go ahead and continue on here. We want to do the next story in our working our way down, or do we want to jump around?
Sure.
Jump around.
All right.
Jump around.
In relation to the fish, I think Emily says that's why there are fish in pediatricians' offices.
Oh, see, I always assumed that they fed the fish the pieces of children they cut off.
Well, it's like it's kind of a symbiotic relationship, right? Like you need the children to come in and be relaxed and not freaked out when you're going to cut bits off of them, and then you got to do something with the bits. So makes sense.
For the fish.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Doctors' offices are terrifying. No, so we've got a new thing here. The major carriers in the U.S., AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint and T-Mobile, announced a project last year called Project Verify, a way to log into apps without making a new account or password each time, relying on your smartphone to authenticate you. They've officially rolled out a name for it, Zenki, and it's going to start to roll out very slowly. The idea is that It will use not just your phone number, but also your carrier account tenure, phone account type, and SIM card. What you'll do is you'll set up the Zenki app offered by your specific carrier and add a PIN or biometric authentication. Once you've set it up, you'll start to see websites with a green Sign In with Zenki button, where you can tap to log into that service pretty straightforwardly. Now, it's not really publicly available. It's in testing. You can't try it out, and there's really no websites that support it at the moment.
Cool.
Exciting.
We don't know what apps will support it, what websites will support it, what services will support it. We don't know what phones will support it. We just know that theoretically it exists.
Weird.
So.
Guess it's kind of
Passwordless, man. That's the future, apparently.
Ooh, yeah. Now, is this subject to the same, like, whoever calls up your phone carrier and steals your SIM card and then you lose?
I hope not, but that's a good question. How are they going to fix that?
I don't know. That's why I don't understand what is so secure about this. Like nowhere it's like I'm on their website and I'm scrolling through and it's very shiny and all this, but they don't actually explain what the security technology is that I need some it's got to be a 286 hex bit key technology. Like I need some gibberish to tell me that this thing is secure because it's very vague. Like I don't understand how this is more secure than using 1Password with two-factor authentication.
I don't think it is, except that the problem with two-factor auth is, as we've seen, that not all two-factor auth is created equal.
Sure.
So there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and what's the percentage of people that do two-factor auth at all? And plus the people who are using just a phone number to do two-factor auth, and then how, right? So if you could make it slightly more secure for everyone, that would seem better. Especially because actually it would probably be way more secure. Like imagine, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but my understanding, passwordless is a thing that security people actually talk about. If you weren't using passwords, if you were authenticating literally any other way, you couldn't choose your just one English word as your password. It couldn't be done. Mm-hmm. Everyone's password would be basically as secure. You'd still have all of the phishing problems, but it would be better than nothing. So that's the idea, is that passwords themselves are bad.
But does
that make sense?
Yeah, but isn't also giving your phone carrier control over your security also to me this just screams carrier lock-in, because they say it will work across all carriers. They don't say if you can port it between, which is interesting. And that what happens if you say, okay, I don't want to use Zenki anymore? What's the process for transferring your account? If it's just if you're using 1Pass or LastPass or something, you can always change the pass. You still own the credentials. I don't want to own my credentials, but the question is, who do you want to own your credentials? Is that Verizon? I don't know. That's the question. I don't know how you sell people on this.
Yep, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I frankly, I don't. We talked previously on the show about Sign In with Apple, which is their new sort of generified sign-in tool. I don't think people are going to use it because the average person isn't going to understand it. The average person doesn't use a password capture tool.
That's true, but I feel like a lot of people use Facebook login, or am I off base there?
No, I think you're right, but that's different, right?
Is it different?
Then Sign In with Apple is...
Well, from a user's perspective, you go to Tinder or whatever, is the only one I can remember that said they were going to have it. Or did they not say that they were going to have it? I don't remember. Whatever it is. And you see Sign In with Apple, and you see sign with like it would be placed next to the sign in with an email, sign in with Facebook stuff. Yeah. So you're just like, it's the same thing. It's better in a lot of ways.
It is, I agree, but that's the thing is, sign in with Facebook has been around longer, and I feel like people are actually less likely these days to use sign in with Facebook because of various news and security issues. And then you see sign in with Zenki, and you're like, I don't even know what Zenki is. You know, it's going to be a tough education for people to use. I think they're weary of those. I wish they would use them. I mean, I think something has to be done about security. I'm just curious if this is the right... You know, remember when... Whatever happened? Weren't all the carriers supposed to be doing like a QR code payment thing a couple years ago? Do you remember that vaguely?
ISIS?
Yes. Was it called ISIS at one point?
I think so.
And that was going to be the big deal, is that it was going to be universal payments everywhere, and then the thing just never came out.
I agree that the phone carriers are not well positioned to do this.
Yeah. I was browsing the website here, and at the bottom there's a security link, and I clicked it, and it says contact us for security topics at security at myzenki.com. So
inspiring.
Yeah.
Inspiring. Just toss all your passwords into this black box, and we'll probably let you in. Okay, well, let's roll on to our next story here. Instagram introducing Threads, a new messaging app designed to only be used by your closest friends. It's a companion for Instagram that lets you quickly share text, photos, and videos with your close friends list. It also invites constant passive sharing of your location, status, and other intimate data. It has 3 core components. The first is the camera. It's the default screen, very Snapchat. It's just for taking photos and videos, no filters. You take the picture, you tap the person's photo, and you swipe to send it. It's, again, very Snapchat. The second component is the inbox, which is where you get your messages. And the final is the status screen. The idea is to constantly be sharing where you are and what you're doing. So you pick a status that'll hang up there, or you can opt into Auto Status, which will refresh your status throughout the day as you move about your life. It will learn when you're at home or at work and update accordingly. It won't store your exact location, but it will use the information to create context. If you're at home, you might want to go out. If you're at, those sorts of things, the status will only be seen by your close friends.
Has one of these ever worked for Facebook?
No, other than Messenger.
Like one of the spin-off apps, you mean?
Right. I guess Messenger, but that wasn't Facebook trying a new thing in a different app. It was just taking an existing thing and pulling it out into an app.
No, I agree with you. I cannot think of any other Facebook. Even like Groups had its own app for a while, and they folded that back into the platform. Same with Events. So no, I don't think they've ever really succeeded.
Paper, pour one out for Paper. The first and only good one.
Yep. Well, remember what was it? Slingshot.
Yep.
Well, what was the Rooms? Remember Rooms? Or was that Google who did Rooms?
No, that was Facebook too, I think.
Yeah. There were a shockingly large amount of these defunct Facebook apps. Oh boy.
The new defunct Google app.
I think. Did either of you download this?
No. Did you download it?
Yeah.
Ooh, we should get a thread.
Yeah, we can get a thread. It's basically your Instagram DMs in a separate app. So I don't know. If it has anything going for it, it's that there's already stuff happening in there.
Yes. Yeah, that it syncs with your Instagram account.
Yeah.
All right, I'm downloading Threads.
We can thread each other.
That's confusing. There's also a Threads business communication app.
Yeah, it's very hard to search for. Threads from Instagram, I think, is the...
Yeah.
Threads from Instagram. A camera app for close friends. Now the question, Colby, are you going to share your Auto Status?
No. Come on.
I'll take the challenge. I'll do it, but it's going to be very boring because I don't do anything.
The auto status. This is probably the worst time for me to do that because
Still home.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to do it. I will volunteer to be the one who turns on auto status.
What is auto status?
So that's where it automatically refreshes your status based on where you are, algorithmically.
I'm gonna click learn more.
Yes, I would like to learn more. Oh, but see, it says Colby Revenue sent you a photo on Instagram. I got the Instagram notification. That's confusing. All right, pick your people.
I wonder how well this is gonna work in New York.
Who are my close friends? This is a kind of good guess as to who my close friends are.
You're gonna turn on auto status, Sean?
I will take the bullet and do auto status. Let's see, turn on notifications.
So who can see my status? Only people on my close friends list can see my status. So it'll just be you and Colby.
Yes, turn on.
Nah, actually, never mind. I don't want to do this. I take it back.
Oh, they want my motion activity. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Ooh.
Wow, you're really going in.
Yeah, why not?
Do they want your heart rate and
Yeah, look, it says here they
blood
need
sugar too?
my thoughts. How is that even possible?
All right, I'm gonna send Sean a picture. Ooh, I took a picture. Can I send you a picture that I took? It looks like I can't send you a goddamn picture that I took.
It's supposed to be Snapchat, Dan. You can't do that.
There we go. I sent Colby a photo.
Ah!
Oh, look, and I got Colby's. But once again, it's also got Instagram stuff in here, so I'm really confused. All right, I'm gonna set. What should I set my status as? I'm gonna say watching, because I'm watching us do this show. This is. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I hit play, and it's a photo of me on Skype. Bad color on that monitor, Dan.
Oh, so it's fluxed.
Oh, there you go.
I want to set my status to.
Yeah, that's very lame. I'm
busy.
Unimpressed. But
Yep.
we'll see. We'll report back next week how many threads we weave.
Oh, the threads that we weave.
Oh, those magic threads. Alrighty, well, this is going to end up being our last story due to time. Microsoft's big Surface event. Were you guys excited by all the things they announced? Are you aware of what they announced?
Oh, yes, the dual screen phones.
Yeah, this is exciting. There was a new Surface Laptop 3. It's just got more specs. We'll move past that. A new Surface Pro 7. Better specs. We'll move past that. Surface Earbuds. 24 hours of battery life with a charging case. Omnisonic sound and a directional dual array microphone. It also has Office integrations, so you can advance slides in PowerPoint using them. They'll be available later this year for $249. The exciting stuff, starting with the Surface Pro X, and yes, it is X, not 10. It's their new premium 2-in-1 tablet. So it's basically the Surface where it's a tablet till you snap a keyboard onto it, 13-inch. But what's interesting about it is ARM-based. It's running a custom SQ1 chipset that they worked with Qualcomm to put together. They say it has 3 times the amount of performance per watt than the Surface Pro 6, and the GPU pushing over 2 teraflops, which I'm told is a lot. Now, the interesting thing, it is running an ARM-specific version of Windows that they say will be compatible with most apps, not 64-bit apps. So you're going to have to play with that and figure that out. But it's very light. It's very thin. The thinnest Surface laptop yet. And yeah, supposedly an interesting, their first ARM-based Windows device.
And is this technically a phone, or haven't they really said?
No, this is a computer. This is just a regular Surface. We haven't gotten to this is the foldable stuff yet. I just wanted to, it is interesting that they're doing an ARM-based Windows, so we can then talk about their dual-screen Surface, which is Surface Neo, which is running a different variant of Windows, Windows 10X. The hardware, the Surface Neo, 2 9-inch displays held together by a 360 hinge. It's not one display, it's actually 2. It's in development, targeting holiday 2020. It's got a keyboard that rests on top of the display. It runs Windows 10X. Now, 10X is a Windows variant designed for multi-screen devices, like this one. It's different than Windows. It has new container technology that lets it run legacy apps. They haven't said much about what exactly it will have, but it will have a brand new start menu. It's going to be totally redesigned, but right now it's exclusively for multi-screen devices, coming not only from Microsoft, but also from other manufacturers. In addition to that, they also announced the Surface Duo. It is an Android-powered foldable tablet meets phone. Maybe the most interesting thing they announced. It is smaller than the Neo. 2 5.6-inch displays rotating 360 degrees, so it can be fully unfolded into a miniature 8.3-inch tablet. Each display can also run 2 different apps at the same time, or it can be turned into landscaping mode, allowing the second display to be used as a keyboard or game controller. It does run Android, as I mentioned. Heavily skinned, it's meant to look like Windows 10X, but it will have the Google Play Store on it and be running a full version of Android. It won't be available until holiday 2020.
That's the weirdest part of this announcement to me is, why so late?
Well,
I'm not late. Late's the wrong word. Why so early? Like, why are they announcing this so early?
I think because everyone's talking foldable, and they've got to seem... it's a marketing thing more than anything else. I mean, they have said that part of the reason the Neo specifically is going to be taking so long is because it's got all kinds of crazy display technology, the thinnest LCD ever created. So there's definitely going to be some, not only software, but real hardware innovation happening to make this thing a reality.
I kind of like the way the earbuds look. Like the flat thing.
Yeah, have you seen a picture of them in somebody's ears?
Yeah.
They are chunky.
Yeah.
You like this, Colby?
I don't know if I want them.
You're interested by it.
It's just interesting. Yeah, that's maybe that's the right word. It looks like you can do gestures on them of some kind or something.
Yes, that's why it has so much surface area there, allowing for swiping and tapping and doing all those sorts of gestures.
Neat.
It's basically a touchpad coming out of your ear.
Right.
I'm excited. I think the phone's cool. I'm down with the Duo.
So here's a question. What would you use the second screen for?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably nothing.
Okay.
I may never open this thing up. You know what it is? There are... Again, this is where the issue comes in of having one complete display you fold and having 2 separate displays. Because I'm like, oh, I'd play like iPad-type games on it. But it's 2 separate screens, so you really can't play one continuous thing across both screens.
I mean, maybe you can. Like, it's possible.
Well, yeah, there would be a big line through the middle.
Right.
For whatever that experience is worth.
Weird.
What would I use both screens for?
I couldn't think of anything. I guess you could try to use it like a tablet. Like, that seemed to be something they were pushing a little bit. Or, sorry, like a laptop.
Yeah, with, like I said, keyboard or game controller on the second display.
Yeah, but a keyboard or a game controller would be better than a screen.
Well, that's true. No, you're not wrong. I mean, and that's the idea with the Neo, which is the larger one. They'll actually have a like plastic keyboard you put on top of the screen, and then it doesn't take up the whole screen. Right? You're gonna love this. Ready for this? You put the keyboard on the screen. It takes up about 2/3 of the screen, and above it, it automatically becomes a bar like the touch bar, where it'll have certain interactive options. But they don't call it the touch bar. They call it the Wonder Bar.
Ooh, wunderbar.
Ooh.
Wow.
Good job, Microsoft.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so no, I don't know if anyone... To me, the bigger one's probably the more practical idea. for someone who sometimes has a tablet, and because to me it's just like a better laptop or a better Surface, right? If you're willing to spend more money, you might as well get another screen out of it. But the phone one without a continuous screen, I agree with you. It's really only for multitasking. And what do you do on a phone that really requires multitasking?
Right.
Yeah.
We could be missing something big, but I don't think we are.
Well, we have a whole year to wait until these things come out. So
yeah.
we frankly, we don't even know if any apps are even going to support this.
Let's take a bet. Do you think this will ever come out?
I think some version of the big one comes out.
Okay.
Because...
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm interested in taking bets on the small one. My gut is they take one look at what is probably going to be a slightly less disastrous but still disastrous Samsung Galaxy Fold rollout, and they're going to be like, maybe everyone will just forget about this.
I think they're going to look and see how much work it's going to take to reskin Android to be able to operate on this device, and they're going to say, why are we doing this? Because this is a totally reskinned Android. This is not even close to stock, and we know how skinning Android works, and it's kind of a pain, especially because Google's working extra hard in I don't know if it's the current version of Android or the next one, to include multi-screen form factors in how the operating system responds. They're purposefully building it in, and so to conflict that with Microsoft, I think it's I don't know.
All right. Well, you know what my gut says. We'll check back in right before a little over a year from now, and
no, I agree. I'm skeptical on the little one. The big one, I think we'll see that. I think we'll see that. How many will they sell? I don't know. What will it cost? Very curious. Because that could be crazy stupid expensive.
It just to me, even the big one, you're paying for like not that big of a benefit, and you're getting a worse keyboard, I'm sure. I don't know.
But it's one of the, when they did, remember when they did the big desktop Surface?
Yeah.
And it's like, only a small portion of people are actually going to buy that. It's for like designers and people who want it to fold down into the table and stuff. It's the same with this, where it's like your average Joe is still going to buy a laptop if they want a Windows device. They're not going to buy this, but it still says, we're ahead of the curve, we're cool, and someone will buy it.
Yeah. I was watching the little YouTube video for the Neo. I'm sorry, is the Neo the big one or the small one? I was watching for the Duo.
Small one.
It looks like when it's open, the sides are like shockingly thin, which it looks very cool, I guess. But I don't know if that's what I want, I guess, with no external. Yeah, it seems weird.
To be fair, I think we saw the problems with the Fold being one continuous display. I think it is more practical to have two displays on a foldable phone.
Right.
So give them credit for that.
Yeah, but even then, like those displays are going to be slapping up against each other and like slapping up against the back,
getting dirt in there.
Yeah, I think there's still going to be problems.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I want these things to come out because I think they're cool, and we need phones have been too boring for too long. We need some crazy innovation. So I hope
maybe they'll do something like the Apple Watch does with the water in the speaker, where like when you close it, it just like releases a puff of air or something.
It just like shudders.
I love it. Super. Alrighty. Well, we got to move on to picks. And we've got some great ones here in the rundown. It's the part of the show where each of us brings something we want to share. I'm going to go ahead and go first, and then I'm very excited to hear Dan's because I've been following his Twitter saga for a while. So mine's pretty quick. It's a physical item pick that you can buy. Guys, how often have you been in the dark and said, I would like to be able to see things?
I'm in the dark one way or another almost every day.
There you go. Well, if I got the product for you, it is the Vicello V800 headlamp flashlight. I've got mine here. You look like an idiot wearing it. I originally bought this for snowblowing at night because it's much cheaper to do this than put a light on your snowblower. But recently I've been watching my mother's dog, been walking him out at night, and this thing is great. it's really, so it's got red lights, and they'll flash, a button for that, and then it's got your traditional LED, and you can see there on the camera, it's very bright, and you can adjust the brightness, and it even flashes for, in case you're being molested or something, and it's the battery life is great. You can adjust the angle on it, and it'll stay wherever you put it. It's just a really good headlamp, and the best part is it's $15, so it's not outrageous. This is the Wirecutter's budget pick, and it definitely has everything you need for, unless you're going like mountain climbing or something, you need something better. But if you're walking out at night or something, or like I said, snow blowing or any opportunity you need a headlamp, I've been very satisfied with it, and I've used it plenty of times. So the Vicello V800, you can get the link on the Wirecutter. Of course, it'll also be on our website, and you can buy it on Amazon. And it comes with this, I don't know if they still do, but it came with this garish band that said "Feeling Alive" on it for some reason, which is weird. I didn't care for that, but other than that, it's very nice.
You haven't replaced it with an aftermarket band?
I honestly don't use it that often. I snowblowed, I think, 3 times at night, and then I've been using it walking the dog. It was so funny because I was walking the dog in front of my neighbor's house, and their kids and wife or whatever, a couple came out of the house, and the dog, of course it's dark, and the dog out of nowhere all of a sudden starts barking at them, and they didn't realize I or the dog was there, and I scared the shit out of them. It was great. They were so startled. And I had the headlamp on. I don't know how they didn't see me. So, anyhow, that is my pick. Dan, you got to break down the whole saga for me, because I never learned what your problem was with the original app, and now I want to know what you've chosen.
I've been a loyal Dark Sky customer for 6 years, something like that. Like, ever since I moved to iOS, I think. And it had been working great. I want to say until last year, where anecdotally I started noticing, wow, I don't know, I definitely check Dark Sky every morning, and then I turned on the rain alerts, which I don't know when those got added, because I noticed that I was just getting caught out in the rain, literally, way more often than I used to.
Yep. And
2 weeks ago and last week, I got caught out in really bad rainstorms. And in both cases, and I know I have coworkers who have Dark Sky, they all confirmed, yep, nope, mine didn't say anything this morning. I didn't get a notification. And so this may be a Quixotic quest, but on principle, since I demand satisfaction, as John Roddick would say, I am no longer going to be using Dark Sky. But then the question is what to use. I tried Carrot Weather. I think Carrot Weather is kind of gimmicky and stupid, and not that good of an app.
Yep.
It's hard to understand what's going on. So now I'm trying Weatherline. Weatherline is, its philosophy is, I'm going to draw a line for either the next day or the next week. As the temperature goes up, the line goes up, the color of the line changes depending on if it's going to rain or not. And if it is going to rain, it'll show you, a probability percentage. That's it. There's stuff on the bottom with, extra details. I never look at that. You can add, different cards for your different cities. I really, really like the UI. It's not free, or maybe it is free to download, but there's a premium subscription.
Yeah.
There's ads.
Yeah, it's not free, but I really, really like the UI. The other downside is there is no iPad app or website or anything like that. It uses Dark Sky data and other kinds of data. But I don't know if this is the solution yet, so I might still try a couple others. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this looks nice.
Yeah.
I'll download it and check it out.
It's iOS only, also. Yeah.
Nice. Well, keep us informed as you try out some more. Curious. Weatherline on the App Store. Colby, take us home. You got another nice app for us.
Yeah. I decided randomly to try a different sleep tracking app.
Ooh.
The one I use for ages is called Pillow, and it works fine. But I just decided to try a different one for kicks mostly. I wasn't rage quitting or anything. And the I think probably the Do by Friday people have talked about auto sleep before, and I tried it, and it is very cool. It has way more information. It has lots of dials. I also feel like it seems to be a little more like its interpretation of when I slept well versus when I did not sleep well is a little more like accurate to when I feel bad and or when I feel like I didn't sleep well and when I did. Like there were times with Pillow where I would wake up and be like, oh, I feel like great and refreshed, and it would be like, oh, you had a terrible night's sleep. Doesn't make any sense. So it's cool. The thing I like is it has this sleep debt thing. So like if you don't sleep enough a couple nights in a row, you like accrue sleep debt, and then when you get like good night's sleep, like your sleep debt goes down. I think that's that kind of tracks nicely with like how tired I am as the week goes on. I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know if I had to pay for it. Question mark. It can't be free. Maybe I did.
You don't believe it. It's $2.99.
Oh yeah, right. $2.99.
Yep, but no in-app purchases. You just pay new $2.99 and you got it.
Yeah, so that's all right. Pretty all right.
I've been using this for years and it's great.
Dan, you actually picked it on the show.
Really?
A double pick!
Back at the end of November 2017, episode 184. On that same episode, I picked the movie Coco, and Colby picked his iPhone 10.
Coco, I did watch that many years later, and it is good. Well, does that mean the show's over? Is this our keychain challenge?
Yep, we've looped it. No, I've also used Auto Sleep. I think based on Dan's recommendation, and I also endorse aggressively. I thought it was great. I will also say, I don't know if you guys, I stopped using sleep tracking because it was just annoying and I wasn't getting anything out of it. But I do use from the same developer Heartwatch, which actually you might be able to buy both in a bundle. I know they had that for a little while, which is the same style and design, but for heart activity, for your heart rate. And you get heart rate alerts, and you can track your heart rate over time. Great app. If you're interested in it all, it's another $2.99, but it's an excellent heart tracking app. Heart Watch, all one word. And they do have a bundle, so you can actually get all three. You can get Auto Sleep, Heart Watch, and Auto Wake, which is uses your sleep data to wake you up at the right time, and you get all that for $6.99. So you save like $2, $3.
Can you retroactively purchase the bundle if you've already purchased one?
I don't think so, though. That would be a good idea.
That would be cool.
I've never
for
tried
me.
Auto Wake. I would love
I'm
for that
intrigued.
to be good.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a haptic smart alarm for your watch. It can wake you up by tapping you on your wrist using your watch's haptic engine.
It does. AutoWake does have some questionable reviews.
I think
though
it's
they were from many months ago.
And I think it's one of those things where if it works, it probably doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
Because sleep is so specific per person.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, great apps. This is awesome. I love it. Excellent. Well, that's it for picks. We'll have the links to all of those on our website. And you'll be able to check that out there. Of course, our website is don'tpanic.io. You can go there and get every episode of the show, the audio, the video, the pics are all there. Of course, you can subscribe to the show wherever you get podcasts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it, we're there. The video version on YouTube as well. And of course, you can follow us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter, and you can email us don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. Is there anything you guys would like to plug?
No, I'm good. I'm plugged.
All right. I will very quickly mention that we've got a lot going on over at Up for Debate. On the feed as of this recording, the latest episode is the results of our baking challenge. Those who know Matt know he doesn't do things the normal way. And if you think he baked macaroons properly, you've got another thing coming. You're going to want to listen to at least the first part of that and hear how Matt managed to screw it up pretty badly. So It's a hoot. You won't believe it. You got to check that out up for debate.tv or where you get podcasts. And coming out later this week, we've already taped it, our movie draft. These two guys and all of our other players drafted 30 movies coming out this winter. It's one of the most exciting episodes we do, and it was a barn burner. I don't know who's going to win, so you're going to want to check that out at upfordebate.tv or wherever you get podcasts. That's going to do it for this one. We'll be back next week with more tech news. As always, on behalf of Colby and Dan, I'm Sean. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on another Don't Panic.
Bye.
Bye.